What's going on with you guys, man? Welcome back to another piece of content. This is Mr. Solo Dolo. Before I get into the topic, make sure to like the video for the algorithm. Subscribe today. Today I'm going to be talking about why I choose to walk solo. And this is probably a video that y'all been waiting for me to talk about. A video that y'all been clamoring for. The raw truth of why I walk solo. It's pretty simple why I choose to walk solo. It's because I'm just different. I'm just different from everybody. You know, I choose to walk a different path than most. I choose to walk the road less traveled. And I know for some of you, y'all have chosen that path as well. But my viewpoints on life are just different. The way I view life, it's just different. It's unique. I'm not doing what everybody else is doing. I'm not trying to fit a mold that everybody else is desperate to fit into. I'm not desperate for the attention. I'm not desperate for the views, the validation, to be accepted, to be approved of. Nah. I never was the one to be the center of attention. I never cared to be center of attention. That was never my desire. I've been around folks that would always bring attention to themselves, and I just never wanted to attract any energy that was detrimental to my space, if that makes any sense. I didn't want to attract any energy that would be detrimental to my space, to my peace. You know, I've always been laid back. I've always been calm, cool, collected, reserved. Not saying that I was like that all the time, but that would just be my natural state. Of course, when you're a kid, you're not going to be like that. You're going to be more energetic. You're going to be a little bit more wild, adventurous, and, you know, more loud, you know. But growing up, going into my teen years, that's when I started to, you know, fully transition into that natural state of being reserved and being just calm, cool, collected, you know, maintaining the peace most of the time. The thing was, I wasn't around a lot of people that were about peace. I wasn't around people that was pretty much like me in a sense. A lot of people just want to get the attention, be a little bit out there, seek approval. Not that I wasn't trying to do that myself. I had times where I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to gain validation. I did things for validation. I had times where I would do that. But for the most part, I will go back into my natural states, you know, where I wasn't seeking any approval, where I wasn't seeking any attention. And in the result of me being that way, I wasn't connecting well with people, because everybody else was like of the same the same nature, right? Everybody else was just trying to fit in, fit a mold, be accepted, be popular. Everybody else was chasing popularity, recognition. And the school that I went to, that was high school in particularly high school. The school that I was in, that was prevalent, in people wanting to be accepted, chasing validation, chasing popularity. That was really much the thing, And if you were popular, everybody would talk to you. Everybody would, sit at lunch with you. Everybody would hang out with you after school, And the few friends that I had, that would slowly, dissipate after high school. I would, around senior year, the friendships that I did have were slowly fading away. We were slowly losing connection, and being apart. I don't know what happened, but all I can say is that's just a work of God, in my opinion. Why he separated me from certain folks. Why certain friendships did not work out in the long term. It was just because of the Most High. I feel like God has always wanted me to be set apart. And it took me so long to accept that. I didn't want to accept the fact that I'm gonna be walking this isolated path. And it didn't really click for me at 18, when I graduated. Because it was heavy in my spirits at that time for me to just be alone. Because he saw how much I was trying to fit in with people. He saw how different I was becoming, trying to be accepted and gain friendships that were never going to be progressive, that were never going to be beneficial to my development. And the truth is, all of my friendships were never progressive. All of my friendships, man, were never good for my development. It just wasn't. It just wasn't. And he saw that. He saw that the family, my natural family that I had, was not going to be good for my development either. They were not a strong support system. Now, I'm not saying that my mother was not of any support, or that she wasn't a supporting figure. She was a great supporting figure. Perhaps the only one, if that. You know what I'm saying? My mother was really the only one that was actually there for me. You know what I'm saying? If I'm being honest, everybody else can kind of kick rocks. Straight like that. Everybody else can kick rocks. Because they weren't there. They weren't there to support, encourage me at my lowest point. And so the main reason why I walk solo is because I never had people in my life that were beneficial to my development, that weren't good for my life, that were not good for my mental health. They were not encouraging. Instead, they want to tear me down. Right? Easy to downplay me. They didn't take me seriously. Right? And when you're young, right, you don't even take yourself seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're young, bro, you don't take yourself seriously at all. You don't. You don't know how to. You don't really know what's best for you at 12 years old. You don't know what's good for you at 13 years old. Like when you got kids that say they know what they want to do when they grow up, when they're like 12, 13 years old. I don't mean to be an a-hole or nothing like that, but I just kind of like laugh because it's like you're still experiencing life as it's going on. At that age, you really don't know what you want. You got people in their 20s, early 30s, early 40s that still don't know what they want out of life. That still don't have shit figured out. But you 12 and you sitting up here acting like you got everything figured out. Yeah, okay. Okay. See, life is still going on. Life is still happening. Because when you're that age, you don't really comprehend a lot at that age. Like you know what's going on, but at the same time, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's happening. Because for me at that age, you're underdeveloped. Nothing is clear to you. Nothing really makes any sense to you at that age. It's like you got to keep living. You got to keep experiencing. You got to keep learning. You got to keep going through some things in life, going through the hard times, speed bumps, the trials and tribulations to really know more about this life that you're living, to know what you really want out of life. Like something has to happen to you for you to get that feeling of knowing what you want out of life. You know what I'm saying? Like almost tragic, something has to happen like that it's going to make you see what life be really about. Something tragic, something heartbreaking, sad or emotional. The feeling of losing something or losing someone. And it's so important. I know I'm kind of, getting off track here a little bit, but to make myself clear, you got to be around people that support you. You got to be around people that encourage you. If you're not around people that don't support you, that don't encourage you, you know for a fact they're not good for you. You know that they're not good for you. If they're not there to help build you up. It's important to have people like that in your life that build you up. That check up on you when you're at your lowest point. And I'm just saying, for me, in my own experience, when I was at my lowest point, there was nobody there. Nobody. Nobody checked up on me. Nobody called to see how I was doing, to see if I needed anything. A brother never called and checked up. Not once. And it's like, I'm not saying that made me cold, but it made me understand that during your darkest season, during your darkest season in your life, you are responsible for your own life, and you're responsible for getting yourself back in order. Like, it made me realize 100% that my life is my responsibility, and that nobody can come save me. Like, I'm on my own with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on my own here. I'm 18. I gotta move up the ladder. I gotta find me a source of income. I gotta get to work. I gotta find me a decent school to go to. But getting out of high school, that was probably a very weird time for me. You know, graduating and then transitioning into, you know, the real world, real life, reality. I wouldn't go as far to say it was difficult. I mean, it was always going to be difficult, no matter what. But it was very weird on how I transitioned into just life. It's kind of like, okay, now what? You know, you don't have class anymore. You don't gotta do no homework. You don't gotta study for no tests. You don't gotta study for no quiz. You don't gotta take no exam. You ain't gotta see them dusty ass teachers no more. So you're saying to yourself, now what? What do I do next? What's the next step for me? But in that moment, in that process, for me, it got real hard to figure out what was next. When you don't know nobody, when you don't know the right people in your life, it becomes very, very difficult, right? When you don't know nobody, you have no connections. Like, you'll realize how life just gets hard that way. Like, life is always going to be hard no matter what. But not knowing the right people, let alone not having any access to the right people, yeah, that's what makes it even harder. That's what makes it even hard to, like, figure out what your next move is going to be. Having no connections. But when I looked at my circle at that time period, I said to myself, like, when I look back, I said to myself, yeah, those were not the right type of people for me. Those were not going to be a support system for my life. No way. Those people are not going to help me get to the next level. They weren't. They were not good for my development. They were not going to benefit my life in any way. And that just came with maturity, because God had to remove those people from my life for that reason. And at that time, I didn't understand why. I didn't understand why I was losing so many friends. I didn't understand why I couldn't gain no friendships. Why it was so hard to connect with other people. And it took me a while, man, to figure it out. It took me a long time, man, to understand why I had to be isolated, why I had to walk this isolated path, and to fully embrace it as well. To fully embrace it, But when you don't have people in your life that pour into your cup, that push you to the next level, that's going to be there during your lowest season, your darkest season, you know that they're not right for your life. You know they're fake. And they only want to be there for you when things are looking good, when things are convenient, when things are looking sweet. That's when they want to be there. But when things get hard, times get tough, the season becomes cloudy, it's like they gone. They disappeared. Because when life gets a little bit too bumpy, they gone, bro. And that's just the reality, the reality that you have to face. Don't always expect people to be there for you when times get tough. Don't always expect people to be there. And pay attention to when people show up during your winning season versus your losing season. Because you have a winning season and a losing season. If you see that everybody else is always there for the winning season, then you know who your friends are, right? You know who your real friends are at that point. If you just see them during the winning season and ain't nobody there, and nobody there is there through the losing season, or less people are there through the losing season, then you know who your real friends are. You know who your real friends are. Because I'll tell you right now, a real friend is there through both seasons. They are there through the winning season and the losing season. But another reason why, I choose to walk solo. Let's be honest. A lot of people, bro, nowadays are not trustworthy. And you hang out with the wrong crowd, you can get yourself into some serious trouble hanging out with the wrong crowd. Just hanging out with the wrong crowd can lead you into dangerous places, leads you in the wrong path, leads you to a charge, leads you to a record, leads you to some jail time. Hell, it can probably lead you into losing your life. Straight up. Hanging out with the wrong crowd, it can cost you your life. It can. and hanging out with the wrong people that smoke, have all these addictions, all these problems, and you're the only one out the pack that's trying to do better, live better, improve, change your circumstances, and you're around these same folks that don't want to change their circumstances, that want to remain in the same pitfall, the same hole, the same place forever, the same position. You gotta just leave them, man. You gotta just go without them. You just gotta go without them because they're not going where you're going. And if they want to get mad, too bad. They can stay mad. Because at the end of the day, this is your life. You have one life to live. And you have to make the smart decisions. Let those people that you've been rocking with all these years, let them mess up their life even more. Let them be crabs in the barrel. Let them. And when you're in the process of making changes and doing better for yourself, keep your plans. Keep your plans silent. Do not tell nobody your plans. Don't tell nobody what you got planned. Don't tell nobody where you're going. Don't tell nobody what your goals are. Do not show people what you're doing. Keep them guessing. Keep them guessing. Keep them all guessing, bruh. Because it's going to prove to be dangerous for your life when you start telling people what your plans are and what are you doing and what you plan on to do and what your goals are for the future. Some people don't care. Some people care enough to make sure that you don't get to live out those plans. Some people will rather make sure that you don't get to accomplish your goals. Some people don't want to see you do better than them, right? Some people would rather see you be at the same level like them. Some people want to see you at the bottom, just like them. They don't want to see you do better. They don't want to see you grow. They don't want to see you win. They're happy with your failures. They're happy with you being at the bottom, like them. Because they have no desire to change, and they never will. But the minute that you start to break through, the minute that you start to challenge yourself, break away from the norm, from the same old pattern, that's when you're going to start to see them all switch up. And you're going to realize real quick that these are not your friends. These are not your homeboys. You'll see how quickly they turn into an enemy. You'll see how quickly when a friend turns into an enemy, the minute that you start to gain anything in life, the minute that you start to gain opportunities, that you're given something, you're being blessed, you'll see how quick that friend turns into an enemy, how quick that angel turns into a devil. You'll see how quick. Because you may not know this, but your very blessings in life can expose the devils inside of your friends and family. Real talk. You heard this from only me and me only. And the reason why I walked solo is because I know a lot of people ain't going to be happy for me when I win. I already done know it. At my lowest point in my life, I know who wasn't there. I know who wasn't there. You know? Barely anybody was there. Yes, I had my mother. But for someone that has to grow up in life, that has to be a man, you know, that can't be weak. I can't always go to my mother. When something goes wrong and I'm going through some things in my life, I can't always go to my mother. You know, your mother tells you like to tell her everything, right? Your mom wants you to like, she tells you, you know, there's a problem, you go to me for it. You know what I'm saying? Your moms always want you to go to them for every problem that you face. Every problem that you face, your mom wants you to always go to her and tell her what's up. Yeah, that's cute and all, but like at the end of the day, if I want to be a man, if I want to grow up, if I want to be stronger, I have to fight this on my own. I can't always go to you when something goes down, when something goes wrong. I can't keep telling you this. I can't keep telling you what's going on. I can tell you the most important things, but whatever issues that I'm facing in my life, let me face that alone. Let me figure this out on my own. Let me go through it. Let me go through it alone. Let me fight this. Because when you're grown, you're older, you can't go to your parents for everything. Every time there's a problem, you cannot keep going to your parents. You can't depend on your mommy or your daddy to bail you out of situations. You can't always go to them to cry on their shoulders. You can't. You'll never grow that way. You'll never get better. I hate to say it, but that's only making you weak by doing that. I hate to say it, guys, but it's making you weak when you go to your mom for things and you have a problem. You're facing a certain situation. I get it. You want your parents to be there for you. I get it. But you're grown. You see, this happened to you for a reason. This situation happened for you, not to you. Know that. Understand that. It didn't happen to you. It happened for you. We have to go through hard times. And sometimes we may have to go through hard times alone, because that's only going to strengthen us. That's going to make us go to God and get closer to God and build a stronger relationship with God. The more what we go through. When life is looking a little bit rough, do not cry to your mom. Do not cry to your dad. Don't. Fight through it. Go through it. Let yourself be burned. Let yourself feel a little bit of pain. Let yourself feel that anger. Let yourself feel that hurt. Let yourself cry a little bit. Let yourself feel a little bit of pain, man, because it ain't gonna kill you. It's not gonna kill you. It's gonna make you stronger. It's gonna make you stronger in the long run. As painful as it was for me to go through hard times by myself, to go through some things alone, and to not have the support, not have the encouragement of others, not having the, people not really having my back, I'm glad that I went through those times alone, because I'm proud of the man that I have become because of those times, because of those hard times I went through alone. It only shaped my character. It only shaped me as a man. I'm proud of the things that's made me stronger. If I kept going, if I kept crying to mommy all the time, every time something went down or something went wrong, then it would have made me weak. It would have made me weaker. It would have only made me weaker if I couldn't go through it alone. If I had to always depend on other people to help me through this and help me through that, it's like, no, man, I have to learn how to fight through this on my own. Because that's tough love from the Most High. When you're going through a challenging time and it ain't nobody around you just to show you that support, to be there for you, that's just the Most High giving you the tough love that you need. Straight up. The Most High is giving you that tough love to strengthen you, to make you wiser, to give you a stronger spirit, a stronger mental, to be stronger emotionally, physically, and to really trust him more, to build a relationship with him. He puts these situations, he puts these problems in your way, not to destroy you, but for you to learn from them. Every situation, every problem, it's all a challenge. It's all a lesson. All the trials and tribulations that you go through in life, it's all a lesson. And what type of man would I be if I just had everybody just have my back? What type of man would I be if I had everybody coddling me, being there all the time, bailing me out of situations? What type of man would I be? I wouldn't be as strong. I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't. I would be weaker if I had to depend on other people to help me through these problems, help me through all these situations. Ain't nothing wrong with help. Don't get it twisted. Ain't nothing wrong with help. But getting too much help from everybody else, always crying to people for this and that and the third. Come on, man. Every time you go through a problem, an issue, a situation, you run to mom, you run to dad. You're grown, remember? You have to grow up and you have to fight this. If you got to do it by yourself, it is what it is. That was part of me walking solo. Not always depending on people to help me through things in life. And also refusing to hang out with people that are going to lead me down a dangerous path. Can't trust a lot of people. Once again, you can't hang out with people that's going to lead you into a dark place. That's going to lead you into jail time. or lead you into losing your life. You don't want that. You don't want that. The Most High saved me by separating those people from my life, setting me apart. Yes, a lot of pain came from that, but I learned a lot from that, and it only made me stronger, you know. So those are the reasons why I choose to walk solo, you know. And want to give you guys that real raw message, you know, as much as I can. But really nothing more has to be said. I pretty much said I pretty much said everything I had to say in this video. And to break down why I choose to walk solo, you know, I'm pretty sure my reasons are the same as your reasons, you know, to walk the the less traveled road in your own life. Because a lot of people are not like you. A lot of people just can't relate to you. You know, you're going places that a lot of people can't come with you. You know, people cannot come with you where you're going. It's only meant for you to go, not for them. At the end of the day, I'm gonna, you know, be around people that are going to support me, that are going to encourage me to do better, to be around people that build me up. You know what I'm saying? People that know more than me. I want to be around those people. I'd rather talk to those people that know more than me, that are doing better, you know, but people that build me up, that show me that support. It's always good to have positive reinforcement. And unfortunately for me, I was just surrounded by the wrong people. And I'm able to recognize that. Able to recognize that I've been around the wrong energy for a long time. You know. And the friends that I had, they were not progressive at all. So me walking solo, you know, that had to happen. You know. And having too many friends in your circle can be very, very detrimental. Very dangerous. It's smart to keep a couple of trusted, well-known, you know, close friendships. You know, that's been true. Also tried and tested. You know, very important to have those friendships that have been tried and tested. To be friends with people that, you know, y'all went through adversity together. Y'all went through fire together. Y'all went through hard times together. That, you know, that's pretty much like a brother in your life that you can count on. You know. To me, those are the real friendships, where that person has been there for you since day one. They've been there through the hard times. They've been there through the darkest seasons of your life, and vice versa. You were there through their darkest times. You were there through their hard times. You watched them when they were going through hell. When they were at the bottom. To me, those are real friendships. But a lot of these friendships nowadays, in my opinion, are just superficial. Same thing with these relationships. A lot of these relationships nowadays they're just created out of superficialness. They just are. They're just superficial, and it's not genuine. It's not real. It's not authentic, and I don't got time for fake friendships. I don't got time to be friends with people that are superficial. That's not genuine. It's not real. It's not authentic. So with that being said, I want to thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for staying through this entire talk. This has been a long ass video, I know. I really appreciate if y'all hit that like button for the algorithm. It only takes 1 second. 1 second for the like button. Subscribe today for more content. Share this with anybody that needs to hear this message. And once again, thank y'all for watching. This is Mr. Solo Dolo. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'm out.